Thanks for joining me today. Well, I'm out with 3 different machines. Before I start, this isn't a head-to-head video. I'm not comparing the machines at all. This is just one of my typical days metal detecting, testing different things, and you're welcome to join me. So first of all, I'm going to give it an hour or so with the XP Deus 2 with the elliptical coil. Then I'm going to pick up the Rutus Versa because we've made a few changes to that and I just want to test it. And then if we have time, I'll take out old Twisty, the old Minelab Manticore with the M9 coil and give that a try. So first of all, let's get out there with the Deus 2 Technoprogram HF2 coil. Bit of a flutter with it.
Dad's got, yeah, there is a bit there. Bit better there.
I can hear the iron buzzing with it a little bit. Bit of lead or something, yeah, okay.
66, 65. Right next to that maze.
Yeah, sweet sound. This is going to be probably exactly the same, you know. There you go. 65, 66, yeah, it's bouncing the same as yours. But
oh, that's only the end, isn't it?
middle of a shotgun cartridge. Okay.
They always trick you out though, don't they?
52, bouncing around a bit. Lead, piece of lead. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. We'll have a look at that later. That's I think that's a token. Apologies if the wind is coming over the microphone. It's pretty blustery on this hilltop. 23 Coke. It's running really well. Not many high spikes coming through, which is good. The iron is confidently shouting out as iron, which allows me to hear those tiny little targets. And this is why you need a really stable discovery sweep. Coke again. 99. Come on. That's what it is. It is a washer. I think, yeah, it's a washer. Unbelievable. There's your 99 for you. Now, running a high frequency, there's one thing that you should be aware of. Because it's running a high frequency, it will pick your hand up. It's something to do maybe with the iron in your blood. I don't know, but have a listen to this. So when you're looking for a target and you grab a handful of soil and you go like that, the target's not necessarily in there. That is picking up your hand because of the high frequency. You'll probably notice in Australia when you've got the guys searching for those little nuggets, they're using a high frequency, and when they get a target, they put the dirt in a little plastic beaker and they put the beaker over the coil, because if they had obviously a nugget in their hand, they wouldn't know where it is. So that's why they use plastic beakers for nugget hunting in hot ground. And also they don't use pinpoint probes, because you couldn't use a pinpoint probe on hot ground. It will just sound off the minute you get close to it. So there you go, a bit of useless information for you. 84, right next to that crop. So this has got to be a surgical operation. That wind is howling. Well, you can see the crops moving. Look, it's absolutely blustery. Right. Still there, isn't it? Of course it is. And there it is. Look, it is, I think, a little Roman coin. Yep, that's a little Roman. And the good thing is no crops were injured during this excavation. Look at that, absolutely perfect. Not a very good one, I'll grant you that, but I'll take that. It's a Roman coin. And while I've got you here, guys, I need a bit of a favour. As you've probably noticed on my channel, I don't just do metal detecting, I review other products such as e-bikes, drones, the list goes on. But that really is my bread and butter, so that's what I need to do to really keep the channel going. So if you guys see an e-bike video come up or something like that, I'd really appreciate it if you just give it a watch, even if you're not that interested. It'd be brilliant if you could just watch it, and it helps the algorithm out. But don't worry, I'll still be doing metal detecting videos as much as I can, and I will have some news for you in the very near future. Okay, let's get back out there with this HF elliptical coil if we don't get blown away, and see if we can squeak out some more targets. Coke. Big iron. Just clipping on the edge of it. So this little coil is perfect for getting the maximum sweep in these tiny runs between the crops. $62, by the way, this is coming up at. That was quite a deep one. Looks like a coin to me. No, looks like another lead token, I think. Oh, that'll do. Looks quite nice. That's an hour with the Deus 2 with the HF2 elliptical coil. Worked well, no complaints really. Let's go back and get the Rutus Versa out and give that an hour. Now, this isn't a head-to-head video by any means, so just to confirm that, I'm going to be using the Rutus Versa in a completely different part of the field. I've got a new update for this actually, just a beta one, 5.45 I think it said. So I'm just sort of testing it out and giving the manufacturer a little bit of feedback. So that's it, we're absolutely ready to go here now. No adjustments needed, I don't think. So let's have a look, see what we've got. 18 on the sensitivity, which I think is probably about right for this field. Open discrimination, recovery speed 5. The rest is history. Okay, let's go. And again, I'm using the park mode. And as you've probably noticed there, it's a massive coil, about 11 inches. So with all this iron, the odds are stacked against us with a bigger coil. But I find this machine, it's what I call a whittling machine. It's really good for whittling. Now, it will settle down in a very short while, because this patch I've just walked over has got some horrible iron. So once we get off the iron, we start getting a much settled operation, as you can hear there. It's not really sure what to give on a number, but the audio is telling me that's worth a look. Just a little tiny piece of lead, I think, there. Yeah, a little bit of lead. Higher tone, higher conductor. Oh, that's turned into iron. That one. Oh, that caught me out. I can see what it is. It's a nail. Ah, it wants to tell me the truth now, doesn't it? Okay. That was a sweet sound. I might have to make some adjustments to the iron filter on this machine if we get too many targets like that. I've got the iron filter completely off, so I might have to raise that up a couple of notches. We'll see. Personally, I don't like using filters too much because, you know, they can really diminish the sounds from the tiny low-grade Roman coins, especially if they're next to iron. It's nice to have a machine that can do all the processing without having to add filters. Now this Rutus Versa, I don't know if you saw the video, my first time out with it, I had an amazing time. I'll post the video on the screen above, but I was just rocking and rolling with it. There you go, low conductor, coming up about 19 I suppose. And so when I was using the machine over on that Roman site, I just couldn't fail with it. In fact, Paul went out and bought one the next day. And we were just saying to each other, for £699 or whatever it is, it's excellent, excellent value for money. It's just a square piece of something or other. But it is what we'd class as, I wouldn't say an expert's machine, but someone who really likes to press buttons and make adjustments, because using those settings on that Roman site where we had a great day, on here the machine's a little bit unstable, so then you've got to get into like trying to work out, what have I got to adjust here? And very often it's just a case of the sensitivity, because you can run this with quite a low sensitivity and still have good results. It's an interesting machine. It's a very intuitive machine. You become a part of it. And I call it a whittling machine because it's really good at whittling in between iron, although the only coil I've got for it is the 11-inch, and it still does a good job there. The menu on it, if you haven't used it for a couple of weeks like I have here, I just have to quickly relearn the menu because there's short button presses, long button presses, and it's a little bit different to say the Deus or the Minelab. They've all got their own individual sort of menus, haven't they? And you just got to learn them. Another higher tone coming in around 63, 64. That's a lovely sound, isn't it? Lovely sound. Let's see if we can track it down. Cool. Big piece of, wow. Look at that. Big piece of lead. Clean that up, see what it is. Well, I know what it is actually. It is a pot mend, a Roman pot mend. But it's absolutely huge. Now, when the Romans had a hole in an iron pot or whatever, they didn't want to discard it, so they plugged the hole with lead. And if you look carefully on this, you can see it's kind of like a sandwich. So they put lead on the outside and then lead on the inside and sandwiched it all together, and that was good enough to carry grain in or whatever again. Here we go, we got it running nice and smooth now. I've had to turn the sensitivity down to 16, believe it or not. That sounds good. Sounds quite a meaty signal, doesn't it? There's no real confusion to it. It's a nice solid sound. There it is, look. Part of a buckle. Just a corner part of a buckle. A little bit of decoration on it perhaps. Yeah, there's a little bit of decoration on that. Nice one. Right, that's our little run out with the Rutus. We've got a little bit of time left, so let's go and get the Manticore. Here we go then. Minelab Manticore. I've tightened the twisted stem up. It still twists a little bit, look. But that's as much as I want to tighten it. Just hitting the solid signals for this. I'm not going to faff around trying to make them better. I'm not going to faff around looking at the meter. I'm just using this audio only. No. Eight, 9. Another solid sound. Okay. Yeah, moved it anyway. Can you believe it? Bit of foil. Middle of a medieval site and you find a piece of foil. Okay. There you go, crops. You're all good now. A bloke talking to crops. Something's not right, is it? Bit of iron there, but there's something good there, I think. It's out, it's out, it's out. There you go, little Roman. Quite a nice one actually, that'll clean up well. If you want to join me for a day's detecting and hone your detecting skills, doesn't matter what machine you've got, why not sign up for one of my one-to-one tuition days? You can find more details in the links below or on the Skill School website. It's interesting to test 3 different machines, isn't it? All with different size search coils. You've got the Deus with that small elliptical, you've got the Rutus with the 11-inch, and you've got this Manticore with, what's about an 8.5, 9-inch? Yeah. A lot going on here. Carry on. If you want to see more metal detecting videos, why don't you have a look at my metal detecting playlist? I've got loads of videos. I'll put the links to the playlist in the description.